Hi, everybody. It's Denise, and today we're talking about the Aries astrology, right? For the Aries horoscope for the month of April. And April is the month. This is April is Aries month, right? The sun is already starting on the 1st. The sun is already in Aries. The sun entered Aries on March 20th, and so that's why these are the two most important months for Aries of the year, right? On the 30th, Neptune, March 30th, Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, this is spirituality and creativity. And Neptune is also about the ideal, right? The ideal, what we want to come true. When we believe that all is possible, this is very Neptunian or Piscean energy, right? And so it's going to stay there. Neptune will be there for some time. It's going to stay there until October 22nd of this year and then retrograde back into Pisces. It hasn't been there for 165 years. Wow, right? Neptune has a very long, slow transit, and it's going to return to Aries on January of 2026 and remain there until 2038. So it'll be there for a good, what would you call that? A good 12 years, right? I feel like it is. Yeah, 12 years. And so it's a long time. But for now, Neptune being in Aries, it's a really good a really good place to be, because this talks about basically this is your time, Aries, to go ahead and trust in your dreams, right? When we have Neptune in your sign, move forward, trust in your dreams. Be creative. If if you're feeling creative, definitely get into do that. Um, yeah, and this is about our dreams, as I said. It's also about compassion and letting things go. So, in order for you, Aries, or really, in order for you to just move forward and things like that, so Neptune tells us, well, let go of this over here. It's not really serving you anymore. Let it dissolve, let it fade. It can definitely can talk about that. So this is going to be a bold time, a bold, passionate time, and it's a visionary kind of time, right? A visionary, but also spiritual exploration, encouraging all of humanity, really, not only you, Aries, but this during this season, right? All of humanity to embrace our inner fire, because that's what Aries is about. This is about passion and fire and courage and drive. And Aries is a cardinal sign. It's the first sign, the cardinal, meaning you are really pursuing, you're just out there pursuing whatever makes your heart, happy, basically. This is a cardinal sign. Um, so this can, and this is a time also where maybe you're gonna, be kind of challenging the status quo and fight for what you really believe in, because that is Neptune and Aries can really talk about that. Fight for what we believe, or what you believe in, Aries, for sure. This can lead to a strong sense of purpose, individuality, and creative breakthroughs, right? Just trust in it and go with it. And so your dreams, you could easily to bring your dreams into reality, trusting your intuition and your ideals. Like I said, the ideal, what's really ideal, what do you want, what's purposeful for you, and what is personal to you. And this is a beautiful transit, as it can propel us to really kind of pursue our visions. Yeah. And do it without hesitation or fear. Neptune will be in your first house, Aries, making this even more meaningful and more personal to you, right? And that's what that means. It will be in your first house is your sign, basically. Um, as a rule, in a general, right? Your first house will be, um, your rising sign will show up. Your rising sign will be a little bit more important than your sun sign in these readings, in these horoscope readings, and your moon sign will be third, basically. Your moon is more about your feelings, but this can manifest this way as well, right? Or we can trust we can use our moon sign, but it is the least kind of resonating here, as I see it. And avoid, this is about leading your own life, Aries. It is about taking leadership true to your own visions and beliefs, and avoid being impulsive, Aries, because it's a very fast, Aries is a fast energy. and very dynamic, and you may need to have patience and go with the flow of Neptune. Neptune is water, right? It is the planet ruling Pisces, so it is about water, although it's up in the although it's in the sky, right? Yeah, so Venus, the planet of love, fertility, and physical possession. So Venus is about not only love and beauty, it's about our job, it's about how we make our money, our possessions, the beautiful things in life, like the things, the comfort, the things that bring us comfort, material possessions. But Venus will station direct on April 12th, Aries, at 6:19 p.m. Universal time that'll be on the West Coast, 6:19 p.m. on the 12th. And for Universal time, it'll be 1:19 a.m. the next day. So you have to adjust for your own time, please. And so Venus goes direct at 24 degrees Pisces in your 12th house of closure, dissolving intuition and the ideal. See, that's very interesting. You could be ending relationships right now. That's a possibility. You could be starting new ones maybe and just kind of doing it in a whole new way as well, as we have that placement. And the 12th house also describes creativity, bed pleasure, hospitals, and institutions, encouraging you to reflect. This is going to be encouraging you to reflect, to foster a deeper understanding of your values and your relationships. You're gonna feel more giving and more compassionate, Aries. And Venus has trined your ruling planet, Mars, encouraging you to live life fully, but in a softer way. Yeah, maybe you are looking at, relationships differently, kind of, a little bit more compassionately. It's a possibility. It's a good time to start new relationships or bring more of yourself to an existing one. This can be a time to embrace a spiritual relationship or see relationships in a more profound cosmic manner. So on the 18th of April, Mars will enter Leo at 0 degrees. All right. So for you, Mars is better in another fire sign, Aries, and that is your ruling planet too. And Mars will be in your fifth house of fun, creativity, and love. So this is a really good. Once Mars enters Leo, that's really going to help you probably to have more fun here, or to be creative, also maybe more loving possibly. But this can be about parents and children and your own leadership, your own agency. Once Mars enters Leo, you're going, woo, I'm going with this, right? I'm going to do whatever it is that is driving me, that that I'm passionate about. I'm chasing my desires, so to speak, right? And so that's a good thing. And so on the 18th, the sun will add a little bit of pressure or tension because the sun will be squaring Mars in Leo. And the sun is at 29 degrees of Aries and Mars at 0 degrees. And so this itself is powerful because the 0 degree is the first degree and the 29th degree is the last degree in a sign. It's an anaretic. It's a very powerful, it means that something really needs to end. And so when a planet is at 29 degrees, um, and so yeah, the sun will be at 29 degrees of Aries. That's right. And Mars at 0 degrees of Leo. So we have all this kind of Leo and Mars energy going on. And they are very similar, right? Mars and Leo, they're both fire signs, because the sun represents Leo, and Mars will be in Leo. Yeah, and so, right, and then Mars represents you, Aries, as well. So something needs to end, or you may need to take action to let go of something, because that is a square, and squares usually bring change, or they make us uncomfortable a little bit, like something's kind of going on in the background that we feel like we should fix. It could be overly, it could be openly and right in front of you physically. It could be in your mind, but usually there's something here that will needs to end or needs some type of adjustment with the square. So the sun's going to enter Taurus on May 20th. The same day as the Sun Mars square I was just talking about. The focus will shift, uh, and will shift more on how you earn your money, your resources, and your values. The sun will be in your second house. And that is about your money, your resources, and whatever you value. This is also about your self-esteem and your possessions. So that's really interesting how the sun will enter Taurus on the same day as that square. But that's going to help you shift in some way um, to your values or your money, or maybe how you earn your money too. Sometimes that can be about your job as well. Mars is trining Neptune. A trine is a very powerful aspect. It's a very favorable aspect that creates an ease in some area of your life. With the Mars Neptune trine, there's a creative flow, Aries, or a creative ease in their spiritual growth and a sense of compassion when we have the trine. So the trine is always about two planets that are in the same type of sign. Mars is in a water sign, is in Cancer, um, I believe, unless it has really joined Leo at that time. But I feel like this is before it joins, before Mars moves into Leo. That trine is there creating ease for you. Yeah, and Neptune is in Pisces, so it's another water sign, right? Yeah, adding some type of ease for you. And so there's something like you're softening. It looks like you are softening during these transits. Yeah, it does look like that. And Mars has been in opposition to Pluto since April 7th, and that will apply on the 26th of April. All right, so, this has been in opposition for a while. It really has. And so, but this, this can be intense depending on your chart. I talked about the Mars-Pluto opposition just a couple months ago. And so, and now yeah, and so it's going to be there until it will apply on the 26th. So sometimes we have, a transit that is actually applying, but it hasn't really, it's still there. The trine and, whatever the transit is. In this case, it's the Mars opposing Pluto. And so when we have an opposition, it's about change as well, but it's about energies that need to be really merged together in order to bring about success, in order to create something, in order to make you feel better, or to make things better, right? We have to merge these two energies that are kind of in somewhat a little bit of an argument with each other. We can kind of call it a face-off, but with an opposition, there is always change that is created. All right, so this can be intense for you. You might experience power struggles, possibly with family or relationships, Aries, and this will be a time to face any fears that you're dealing with in order to allow full transformation and regeneration. And that's what Aries is about. Aries is about living life fully. It really is. You are the first sign. Basically, you can imagine coming out of the womb and now it's my world, right? It's like that. It's kind of like that. And so this is allowing yourself to live more fully. It is. But be reminded, excuse me, be reminded, Mars, Aries, I beg your pardon, be reminded that Mars is in very favorable aspect for the most part of April, for the whole month, really. So a lot of good is coming your way. Remember to remain authentic, Aries, as you guys really are, and practice self-love. All right. So I hope this was helpful. And if you guys would like a reading with me, just everything is in the description box below. Thanks so much for joining me here. Yeah, thank you so much, you guys.